Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to my secondary channel, the number one grinder real talk. This is yours truly, the number one grinder. One of the best kept secrets on YouTube, the best of the business. We got another boxing live. Now we did 59 a few hours ago. Now this is the underrated boxing talk number 60. We'll talk some more boxing. All right, so we're gonna get this thing started all right. Yeah, we got Bruce Goes in the building. Gonna hit this intro. It will be right back, family. We be right back. I'm back, I'm back, I'm back. Now we're gonna introduce you to my one and only brother Bruce in the building.
What's up, Grinda? How are you, my brother? I couldn't make it this afternoon, man. I listened to you, and then lo and behold, I see you going on tonight. I was bouncing all around, giving a lot of support to the brothers, like I always do. And can you want to talk some boxing, bro? I'll
Yeah,
I'll turn the camera on and drop the mic, and here we go, my brother.
yeah, that's it, man. Hold on, let me get this out the way. Let me read this first. Just remember, us as the righteous ones, we are still winners. That's the real. Remember that we still winners. Let me get this off. Hit that. Okay. And let me see, go back to here. And yeah, we're gonna go back here. Let's see. Let's see. Hey, yeah, yeah. Yeah, we got some background music, y'all. Yeah, there's something YouTube do. I mean something stream y'all's have. So we're gonna try this out. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So how's everything, bro?
Caught me right in the middle of a toka too there, brother. Excuse me.
All right.
Just winding down for the evening. Everything is wonderful, bro. My wife goes to bed about 7 o'clock with this early darkness over here. I don't know what's going on. It's like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The sun's going down. But
Okay.
me, I'm wired differently, bro. I stay up till Christ, at least one figure on the clock kind of time. At least 1 o'clock. Then I start to wind down. But hey, man, I'm glad you're doing it live tonight. Any part of it that I can help you with, bro. I'm glad to do it, man.
Yeah, yeah,
Everybody's. No, go ahead, bro.
yeah. I did. I put the thumbnail. Excuse me. I put the thumb there. Do you see the thumbnail that I put? That's a
Oh yeah, man. Who was that? Marvin Hagler. Was that Boogaloo Bobby Watts?
yo. It's Marvin Hagler, the young Marvin Hagler against the great Sugar Ray Seals.
Oh, that's Ray Seals. Okay, man.
Yeah, that he was the only boxer, y'all, in the '72 Munich Olympics won gold.
That's a
He was
fact,
he,
man.
yeah, he was the only one. He was the only one. He was okay in the he was okay in professionals. He won the NFB championship back then. That was like a secondary championship back then, and you know what I'm saying. So, but he could never win like the elusive world champion, and he went blind. And he kept on fighting, and when his best friend, his late best friend Marvin Hagler gave him some. I think they fought 3 times because he didn't have no money. So he really Marvin Hagler really looked out for him throughout the years. So when people talking about who was everybody thought that he was that Sugar Ray Leonard was the second Sugar. The second Sugar was Ray Seals. He won over 400 some fights in amateurs, and he lost 19. So he was mostly decorated in the amateurs, and that was like the name that we never really talk about, Sugar Ray Seals. So we're gonna talk about him a little bit. Bruce, you can talk about him a little bit so more people come and stuff like that. What's your recollection about Sugar Ray Seals?
Well, I remember the '72 Olympics, bro. That was the year that the Palestinian terrorist pulled that horror show
With
with
the
the wrestling
Israelites?
team. And I mean, they all died. It was terrible. It was tragic, bro. And
Tragic,
that
yes, it
whole
was.
Olympic had kind of a shadow over it. But Olympic boxing, man, I remember the The heavyweight was a guy named Dwayne Bobbick. You remember him, man?
Yes.
And he got knocked out by Teofilo Stevenson in the well, I think it was the maybe it was the final. But man, and Sugar Ray Seals, bro, the only American to win a gold medal that year. A lot of hope for him out of Seattle, Washington. I remember he beat guys like Mike Colbert, Ronnie Harris, the usual tough middleweights at the time. But Marvin Hagler went to his hometown, I believe, and he fought him to a draw. And Hagler, they say, won the fight, but it was a hometown decision. And Hagler, he didn't like that, man. He fought him again, and he twice. And like you said, he got his revenge. Definitely got his revenge. But Sugar Ray Seals, he took a lot of punishment. Especially to that eye. He fought with a detached retina, and he was blind at the end. And Hagler gave him that third fight because he wanted to give him money because he knew it, man. He knew that boxers are, they're independent contractors. Nobody looks out for a boxer except another boxer in this situation, man. And shout out to Hagler. He didn't have to fight Sugar Ray Seals a third time, but hey, he did. He ended it quickly, painlessly, and man, I mean that whole era, middleweights. Oh, bro, we could go on about that forever, man. See the icon I got up there. That's Marvin Hagler running in Provincetown, Mass, bro, with his combat boots on in the blizzard.
Yeah, and also a lot of people don't know this. You know that they was best friends for a long time. A lot of people didn't know that either. But throughout the years, Marvin Hagler was paying some of his bills, and so he really looked out for him. You know what I'm saying? And so, let me repeat this again: the second Sugar was not Sugar Ray Leonard, it was Ray Seals. So technically, Sugar Ray Leonard is the third Sugar. Technically, I'm just talking. Me and Bruce is talking about history. If you ever see Sugar Ray Seals was no joke in the amateurs. He was no joke. One of the most decorated amateur boxers, in the world. That sometimes that we talk about Lomachenko, right? Rightfully so, but we never talk about Sugar Ray Seals. So we're going to talk about him a little bit, and whatever you want to add on, Brother Bruce, you go right ahead, and then then we're going to talk about the fight this week coming up.
I'm good with Sugar Ray Seals, bro. I kind of said what I knew about him, and man, shout out to him. I think he passed away recently, and hey, him and Marvin Hagler are probably having a settling up upstairs.
Yeah. So but again, welcome to my channel, my secondary channel, the number one grinder, Real Talk. This is yours truly, the number one grinder. We with the one and only Bruce Goals and stuff. But you know what, Bruce? Before people start to come and everything, let's talk about jazz. Now, explain people why jazz and boxing goes along together. I know why, but tell people why.
Oh man, I mean, it's Bruce Goes, boxing, jazz, and more. And jazz is a love of mine, and it just flows. It's unpredictable. It's like boxing. It's avant-garde. I mean, no two songs are the same. No two boxers are the same. Always be prepared for something different. Always be prepared for exploration. I mean, it's hand in hand. When two of my biggest passions are boxing and jazz, and man, I used to combine them. I used to go to jazz shows, go to fights on the same night. Go see a fight, and then after go to a jazz club, and the energy would be flowing. I mean, they go hand in hand. So many boxers they train to jazz. I mean, even the historians, the guys like Scrapbook Boxing, what are they always playing in their uploads, bro? I mean, jazz. And I do some jazz shows every once in a while, and I always get really, really good old jazz heads in there. And it seems like it's guys like us. You don't see a lot of young jazz enthusiasts. I don't anymore. I just don't see them.
No.
But once in a while, you'll see somebody who's into it, and it's funny because when you do a jazz show, it attracts the jazz people, and you see the people out here in the boxing community, in the fitness community. A lot of them dig jazz, bro, and it's really a cool thing to talk about because I've been to so many jazz concerts, man. If we started talking who we saw, you know, hundreds of artists, and I used to collect jazz on vinyl. I have over 3,000 jazz albums and probably another thousand cassettes. Excuse me, another thousand CDs when CDs were the rage. But I mean, I love jazz. I listen to jazz when I'm confused, when I'm in pain, when I'm got the blues. I mean, you name it, man. Jazz is always there. But it's not the only music I dig. I dig so many different kinds of music. But man, jazz. Oh,
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm on. Matter of fact, we still gonna do some music together. You know what I'm saying, Bruce? We gonna invite you when I stop at the underrated music talk. We gonna talk about some jazz and other stuff here. So y'all watch out for that now. Well, I did not forget about it. That Bruce is a busy man lately. It's hard to catch up with Mr. Brother Bruce here. But I know he gonna squeeze me in. But I'm gonna let you know ahead of time.
right. You know that, brother. You're my man, bro. I think you're probably one of the first guys that I ever spoke to on the internet, man.
Yeah,
And
appreciate that.
oh, bro, you're tight. Always make room to. And then no, it's not. This is just my hobby. I don't have a lot to do on here, bro. When I get invited to a show, I feel honored, man. I try to make it. And hey, there comes another good brother over here, snuck in the back door.
Yeah, yeah, Clarence McClain, man. That McClain, man. He always sneak up behind the door, man. You know what I'm saying? He's you got. It's
Looks like
still
you got a
turning.
reconnection going in here, man.
Yeah, yeah.
But no, grind until he's going out and coming back in.
Yeah, yeah,
But
Clarence, come back out and go back in. Come back in.
But you're so right. I mean, some people there's so much boxing. When you start talking about something like jazz, all of a sudden you just see bing, 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 people popping up in the chat, and so many jazz enthusiasts. They start sharing their memories, and just start talking about their favorite artists, their Mount
Yeah,
Rushmore of jazz musicians, and bro, it's just it's hand in hand, like you said, man. It goes hand in hand with boxing, and I think the other things I do on my channel and the other things you do over here, they go hand in hand with boxing too, man. The music, the awareness shows that you do, the men's breakfast. I mean, it's all everything is connected in one way or the other. That's how I got here, bro. Wasn't just the boxing. It was a little bit of everything. The nutritional talks. Damn, I met Big Duke on your show. We were talking about working out and dieting, and I was watching the show and you had Big Duke on there. I started
yeah.
asking a few questions, and next thing I know, man, I'm doing a show with Big Duke every week. So Grinder, bro, always we got time for you, bro. You're one of my number one men on, not just the number one grinder, one of my number one brothers on the internet, man.
I appreciate that. Yo, Clarence, I don't know why it's not connected. Hold on, let me see something.
Simons, pay that internet bill. I found mine on the table today. My wife put it on. I said, well, how long has this been there? Oh, about a week. I'm like, damn. I ran that thing up to the mailbox, and I hope I don't get shut off. Maybe I'll be like Clarence. I'll have to use my neighbor's Wi-Fi over here, man.
Yeah, it's like yeah. I mean, he's connected. I mean, it's like it's
Oh,
keep
I'm
on
only kidding.
turning.
He'll get a good connection.
No. Yeah, I know. It's just somebody. Oh, it's you. No, so sometimes it's just the internet. See, the internet got a mind they own and everything. I don't know why just keep on turning.
Well, a lot of people yesterday and today, they said StreamYard and YouTube were doing funny things. They were bumping people off, rebooting themselves. Some shows were just stopping dead and then rebooting again. And I went out with my dog, I had the earbuds on. I was listening to some tunes. I came back in, and the show that I was watching was off. I mean, it was like a
Yeah,
bump. Maybe Clarence is having that problem, but hey, he'll get on here, man. And Clarence knows his boxing. Talk some more boxing.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. But we gonna get it going. But I'm gonna let you know. We're gonna talk about this jazz thing. Why it's connected to boxing. and then we gonna get it on. So that's gonna y'all. I'm gonna let you know that's gonna be a special underrated music talk, and my special guest is gonna be the one and only Bruce Goes, and we gonna talk some songs that connected that the boxing that the boxer liked and everything because at that time was a lot of boxers at the time was going into jazz. They was going into jazz sessions. You know what I'm saying? That would actually like get them going and stuff. And
Well, bro, I only lived 20 minutes from the Newport Jazz Festival,
mm,
and everybody knows the Newport Jazz
yeah,
Festival.
definitely. I never know that. Yeah.
I mean,
Uh-huh.
it's legendary. It's chiseled in jazz. When you speak of festivals, Newport Jazz Festival is probably royalty in there. You know what I'm saying, bro?
Yeah.
I went to
Yeah.
many
Yeah.
Newport Jazz festivals.
Yeah. No. Yeah. So let me ask you a question. Who is your favorite? What is your favorite amateur? Let me ask. Let me ask you right now. I want to ask you a question. Can you name a fighter that did not did well in the amateurs, but he but when that boxer become professional, he went on to do great things.
Well, I mean, many boxers, their style wasn't suited for the amateurs, and they turned pro. If I have to start, start remembering a few of them, if I can, man. Off the top of my head, oh dear. I mean, even that. I was talking to Tim Witherspoon the other day, man. I had him on
Okay.
the show, and he didn't have much of an amateur career. He went right to the pros after only maybe 6 or 7 amateur fights, and and,
Hmm.
and and look what he did. I mean, look at how great he became, 2-time world champion. Sometimes amateurs, like you just said, Sugar Ray Seals. He was a great amateur, but he never won a world title as a pro, and he lost the big fights. So at amateur pedigree, they're so funny. I mean, some amateurs are great amateurs. They become great pros. Mark Breland, he was a great pro for a while, and he was a great amateur, maybe one of the best amateurs ever from the United States. And then there's always the Dwayne Bobbicks, people like that, the John Tates. They're amateur gold medal, not gold medalists, but medalists, but they just never have that great career, the great pro career. Clarence, you made it on here, my brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. My
Oh,
connection
I'm
was.
sorry.
Don't worry,
I,
don't worry. You here? You
yeah,
here?
I had bad connection, so I had to put the code in and all, get everything back together. What's up, Bruce Goes, my brother, underrated? What we talking about?
Man, we
You
was
He's
got
talking
coming
you
here
got
late night over
look,
here, man.
late night. Yeah, I know you was taking care of some business clearance earlier because I did a boxing live earlier. I know you
yeah,
couldn't make that.
I don't do late nights, so I said let me come and just see what y'all talking about though.
Well, we was talking about the thumbnail that I put up on Sugar Ray Seals.
Oh, I didn't. I must have missed all that. I didn't.
Now we can still talk
Yeah,
about it.
he was an amateur, a big amateur star in the early '70s, gold medalist, and he fought
Yeah,
Marvin Hagler. I mean,
three times.
he was a the grinder was talking about great amateurs that just don't pan out as professionals, I believe. And
Yeah,
Sugar Ray Seals is one of them. I mean, one of the most decorated amateurs in the history of amateur American boxing. Gold medalist, Val Barker winner. I mean, just everybody thought he was going to go right to a world championship, and that was the era where the world titleist was Carlos Monzon. That was a tough
yeah,
middleweight era. Marvin Hagler was right there too,
yeah.
and
That was some great middleweights in the '70s. There was great middleweights back
mm,
then. Yeah, there
Yeah.
was great middleweights and lightweight. Then the late great Alexis Aguayo. That's some good.
he was a lightweight. But you had Vito Antuofermo, you had Hugo Coro. There was a lot of tough middleweights. Boogaloo Bobby Watts, Willie the Worm Monroe. I mean, all those tough cats. And then the baddest of them all, man, the guy right there in my avatar, Marvin Hagler.
Yeah. All right.
And,
All right. Yeah. I didn't mean to cut you off. Now, Clarence, let me ask you a question. Could you give us a boxer that did well in the amateurs, but did well in the professional ranks?
Not at this moment. I would have to get back to you on that one. I really can't think of one because I would have to go back and look at how they did as an amateur, and then I have to get back to you on that one. But for what I know, no, I can't think of one. No, no, I really can't. At this particular time, no, I can't. Not even off the top of my head, I can't really think about one. I have to get back to you on that one, though. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So let's get into the main event then for this week, for this one coming up. Anything that anybody want to start that off?
Whoa, I don't even know who's fighting this week. Who's supposed to be fighting this week?
I forgot his name. Oh my god, it was African. It was some African guy was fighting. Let me see. Because me and Jeff brother Jeff was on the panel earlier. We was talking about it.
Well, for this week it's amateur week for me. So when it's amateur week, I'm not too much paying attention to
Got you.
pro fights. I got to get ready to cook for the amateur fights this week. So of course, I'll be live there. So yeah, but I didn't know. Matter of fact, there's a bout in what is it? What's the date for Saturday? The 29th, right? So there's a bout
Yeah.
in Tuscaloosa or whatever. I don't know if it's Oklahoma. It's one of those. It's supposed to be a top rank card this week, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know who else is fighting, but I know Top Rank has a card this week because Bruce Carrington, Shushu, he'll be on the card. And there's some other fight. I know there's a Top Rank card Saturday. That's all I know, but I don't know about anybody else's fight.
Yeah. Now I know people say, why you hear some music in the background? StreamYards have put some backyard music on here, so I'm just trying it out, y'all. So
Oh man,
Yeah,
listen.
I wanted to try that out too, man. Because I always play stuff, and I'm probably going to get trademarked for it. But I love him.
no,
The
not
song-
this one. Not this one. This is from StreamYards.
Yeah. I have StreamYard too, and they just offered that service like yesterday or something, didn't they?
Yeah, I was going hooking it up, and I said, "Oh snap! I didn't know it was on here." So let me try it out.
Yeah, because I have to get some background music that I can show without getting a copyright infringement. I love hearing music, but the problem is with that stuff that's not copywritten, it's just like elevator music, I mean, it doesn't have any soul to it. It's just not it's not jazz. It's cool, but bro, I like the Charlie Parker, the Miles Davis, the John
Yeah.
Coltrane, man. I start listening to that, and my mind is chasing the music, and my head is in the jazz. It just puts me in a right frame of mind. But like I was saying, it's all trademark music, copywritten music, and you're really not supposed to show it on there without the consent of the owners. So I'm kind of in a funky world. I have to find something I can show in the background. Maybe I want to get some of my friends. I got some friends of mine that are professional musicians. See if they can lay down some tracks for me that I can play, and
Yeah. Clarence and Bruce, I'm glad that you're here. I just found out with Jeff TV, it's gonna be 20 fights on February the 5th. It's gonna be 20 fights. So what I'm going to do, we're gonna do a special underrated boxing talk, right? On the 4th, the day before, and I'm getting the bright minds here, and we're gonna talk about the X's and the O's of boxing. We're gonna critique each match, what they need to do, what the weakness is all about. And so I already got the confirmation from my brother Jeff, and I'm inviting you and Clarence on here. We're gonna break down. It's gonna be 20 fights on the 5th of February. So I'm getting the best boxing minds here, and we're gonna break it down. We're gonna have some fun. So I'm gonna send the link out ahead of time to your brothers. And so, if y'all can make it, that'd be great. You know, it's going to be. We ain't going to talk about no news or nothing. It's going to be straight up boxing, straight up break it down. Y'all going to hear things how these brothers break down these fighters and everything. And this is a treat. Okay, so I want y'all to listen out for it. Even the ones that are outside, I want you to check it out. This gonna be something special. You most likely you're gonna hear from Clarence McClain, you're most likely gonna hear Bruce Gold, you're gonna hear other fights. It's gonna be something, y'all. So this gonna be something. So I cannot wait. I cannot wait for that and everything. So yeah, you know, so Clark, let's talk about Barrios and Thurman.
Ha!
What about him?
That's
Okay.
a joke fight.
Okay, all right, no problem. We go to the next one. Okay.
No. Let's talk about it, bro.
No, I said,
It's a
what
joke,
about
but it is a fight, and we're going to see it, and it's on that day that you just mentioned, February 5th. It's one of those 20 fights, probably the biggest fight of the whole day.
Yeah, yeah, totally agree.
Yeah. Okay. I tell you this though, but
So what do you think? You think Keith Thurman is actually going to make any noise in the welterweight division, or do you think this is just a going out with a nice chunk of change kind of a fight? Well, and Mario, and who the hell is Mario Barrios? I mean, shit. He got beat in his last fight, for Christ's sakes. He got knocked out by Tank. He got carried out of the ring on a stretcher, if I recall. And now we're paying money to see Keith Thurman fight Mario Barrios. Every time I mention that name, I laugh. It sounds like something out of a freaking Alice in Wonderland book. You know that. I only heard of him because he was going to fight Tank last time. I had to look in my Wikipedia. Who the hell is this? This guy's the regular 140 champion of the. I don't even remember what federation belt he was carrying, but. Mario Barrios fighting Keith Thurman, and I believe they're actually charging $80 for that pay-per-view. I don't know anybody in their right mind who's buying it. Yeah, I don't know anybody in their wrong mind who's buying it. I don't know anybody
That's crazy.
buying it, bro. What's the matter with these morons who run boxing? Don't they realize that just because you can create an app and you can create a platform, that doesn't mean people are going to shovel their money out for this fight, bro. Put it on Fox, put it on free television. You know, get some sponsors, make it something where everybody's going to talk about it. Then you can create a pay-per-view, a fighter after more wins. People throw that term out too freely today. You know, it's a pay-per-view. It's a pay-per-view. I shit. If I wasn't a hardcore boxing fan, I wouldn't even know who fucking Keith Thurman or Mario Barrios was. And you know, they're not looking for the money from me. They're not looking for hardcore boxing fans' money. They're looking for the casuals. You know, the people who just watch boxing. Not the boxing fans. The people who watch that. You know, get some people over. It's a pay-per-view. It's happening. It's boxing. But most people say, boxing. I don't want to watch that. Pay for it. Are you out of your mind? I mean, damn. You know, I know people who if it was a good fight, they'd have to beg their wife for the $80 to watch it. But today, I don't know anybody who could beg convincingly enough and lie enough to say this is such an important fight, baby. I have to buy it. Everybody in their right mind knows we're gonna all watch it, but anybody that's gonna pay for it, please raise their right hand.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. No? Yeah. All right. Yes. Cool. But Clarence, let's tell the people about the amateurs and everything. I feel like you do a lot with the amateurs now. You know.
Well, we have a show coming up this Saturday in Mount Vernon, New York. Boxology, one of the greatest gyms to be a part of in Mount Vernon. But just a regular show, a bunch of hot, young, talented amateurs from different parts of New York, and maybe outside of New York. It all depends, like a Connecticut area, sometime. But of course, I know I go to these shows. I do live tapings. Mm-hmm. I don't really get to interview any fighters. If I do, I try to interview them when I'm sitting here, like at home before the fight. I didn't get to interview nobody this week because I never got the schedule of who's fighting. So usually fight week I'll interview guys, but believe me, there's a big fight card coming up February 10th that I'm gonna be a part of. So I'm gonna interview guys for that card. But yeah, that's basically what I do. And amateur boxing is so important to me, and I got to a point where I started paying attention more to it than professional boxing because sometimes the stuff that goes on in professional boxing just pisses me off. It pisses me off and it makes no sense. So, I have a stronger relationship with amateur boxing because, like I said, these are guys that the whole world doesn't know. So what I try to do is give them a platform where they can come and express themselves and talk about how they got into boxing and what keeps them doing it, stuff like that. So yeah, but basically this Saturday, you guys will see me. Come on to IG, the No Doug Zone podcast. We'll be live from Mount Vernon, New York.
That's good. Thank you. And I just want to thank your brothers to come in this night boxing talk boxing live. It's very much appreciated. And I got invite some more people on the panel. But if they ain't gonna come, I'm gonna close up for a few minutes and everything. But I'm glad. Oh yeah, but I really appreciate that y'all take the time to do this and everything. And again, welcome to my channel, the secondary channel, the number one grinder, real talk, yours truth, the number one grinder. This is the underrated boxing talk number 60. I did 59 earlier. Y'all go check that out. And I got the one that I got the brilliant brothers, brother Bruce and brother Clarence McLean. And I want you to go to Bruce's channel. Bruce goes. What's the name of your channel again, Bruce? How you say
goes, boxing, jazz, and more. And right now, in fact, I shared this broadcast. We're going out. We're on Twitter right now too, on my feed on Twitter. So,
okay.
Anybody on there, make sure you sub to the number one grinder over here. We're listening to Boxing Talk with number one grinder and Clarence Martin. Clarence all over social media, bro. I don't know the link sites, and I'm not an Instagrammer. I have to sign up and get myself an Instagram account. But hey, man, I just did a Twitter like 2 weeks ago, so I'm new to this stuff, but I'm digging it. It's my hobby now. It's like I love doing it. I'm not expecting anything out of it. I'm just expecting to share the boxing knowledge, get some good boxing, some jazz, some wrestling, some fitness, some good weed talk. I mean, damn it, it all seems to it's taking up so much of my time, but I'm loving it, bro.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I want you to go to. Clarence, you have a no duck zone.
Yes.
And sir. also I want you to go check out a no duck zone. That's IG, right?
Yeah, the No Duck Zone podcast. IG, McLean's Promotion, Facebook.
Right.
Yeah. Yep, that's where you can find it.
So that's what
I'm gonna have to get Mad Chad over here because Mad Chad's really into amateur boxing in the Northeast, man. I think Clarence, you and him could do some good talking together, man. He loves boxing at the amateur level. He knows some boxers from Ireland, some amateurs, world class amateurs, and it's good to really talk about that. I don't know a lot about amateur boxing. I'm not really. I couldn't really contribute a lot to the conversation, but I know Mad Chad. He's into it big time. He knows the guy who runs amateur boxing in New England. His name is Bobby Russo is his name. You familiar with him at all, Clarence?
You said what?
Bobby Russo. His name is Bobby Russo. He pretty much runs all the amateur boxing in New England. Very big name. He's up in Maine. He has his gym up there. But there's so much that should be done with amateur boxing. It should be so much more funded and the publicity, everything else that goes along with it. But it's not. Then it's not getting the support from towns or from anybody really. And gyms are closing up. Boxing is not cool. It's not the politically
well,
correct thing
well,
to do.
that's why I'm trying to come up with so many ideas. Me trying to be a matchmaker. I'm getting ready to get into that to be a matchmaker, promoter,
Okay.
whatever. I got yeah. I'm hopefully before the year is up, that deal will be made. But it's a process to do it. This is what people just think that you just wake up and say, hey. I want to be a promoter, and it takes more than that. You have to be put to the test. There's some things you got to go through, but it's all worth it. But I'm planning on making some non-profit organizations. I got some things that I'm working on that there's gonna get done. It's just gonna take some time to get it done, but I want to help amateur boxing out way more than what is being helped. And Bruce, you're absolutely right. It needs to be better than it needs to be way better than what it is. But then, like I say, you take people like me who's trying to, I don't want to say change the game, but just to add a little season to it. So that's what I'm trying to do. Add a little season to it. So I got some things coming up that I'm working on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're gonna talk more about in the near future on here. We're gonna talk more about the amateurs, and also we're gonna talk about the amateurs in the past too. Let me ask you a question. Which is do you think? And I'm talking about the USA. Which is the best boxing teams that you ever seen?
Oh, oh man.
Oh, no problem there, bro. 1976 Olympic team.
Oh
I mean,
man.
you
I was
had you had
Really?
the Spinks brothers. You had
yeah.
Sugar Ray Leonard. You had Howard Davis Jr. You had Leo Randolph. I mean,
Herbs.
bro. I mean, shit, damn.
Hey Bruce, I
And
was
then,
thinking.
and then the guys that didn't win gold medals too. Go ahead, Clarence.
No, I was gonna say I was thinking of the '76 team. That's why I said, "Oh man," and you said it. Yeah, that was a
But
sharp team.
but the 1980 team too,
16.
bro.
That's
Look
why I
at
said
all the fighters that came out of that team
Yeah, yeah,
that
exactly.
year
They
too.
never fought either, right?
it was one team where they had Mark Breland, Holyfield.
That was 84.
Oh man, that was a boy.
Oh
They had
yeah,
all.
Riddick Bowe. I mean, shit. That was the you had Roy Jones Jr.
Oh, that's back in the
It was
80,
just
that's 88.
Yeah,
88, yeah, 88, bro. I mean, there's just so much of it going on back then. So much talent coming out of the Olympics. Today you just don't see it anymore. You just don't see that much, going on in amateur boxing. It's just not. It's not heralded like it was back then. Back then, you had Howard Cosell champion the Olympics. I mean, he was Sugar Ray Leonard's promoter, basically, man. And he was a good announcer, a good Olympic announcer. But you just don't see that enthusiasm anymore. I remember the last Olympics, they were in Beijing, right?
mhm.
And they were on at like 1 o'clock in the morning, if we're lucky. The gold medal rounds, and that just doesn't. And that's not very conducive to promoting. A fighter to the American people, having it on that late. So I don't know what to do about it. I don't know if you can. You can't say it has to be in a country where it's shown on prime time in the United States, but there's not really the interest for it because nobody can really name any of the Olympic boxers that we just saw. Last summer, really. Think about it. I could name a few, but I mean, they're not on anybody's tongue. That's not how it was in '72 and '76 and '80 and '84 and '88. We all know those guys. We still know them to this day. So I mean, it's a whole. Boxing is different today than it was back then. It's you really have to be really intuitive today, intuitive to know boxing. It's all over the internet, but you have to go back and read those pages again. Stay with them. You can't be bopping everywhere, getting a little bit here, a little bit there. Back in the day, I learned about like guys like Joe Louis and Sugar Ray Robinson. I learned about those because they used to have like ring magazines a special edition, Joe Louis edition, and it would be, you know, 200 pages or whatever, how many pages, all about Joe Louis, all his early fights, his first tough pro fights, and you know his bum of the month club, and you know his defeats, and I mean his army days, shit like that. It just came naturally. I didn't study it. It was just that it was in that magazine. I bought those Ring magazines, and that was how we got our boxing knowledge. There was no internet, there was no YouTube, there was no Wikipedia. You know, you had to read it, and fortunately, these publications would have. They'd have specials where they'd feature like a Henry Armstrong special. So I learned a little bit about Henry Armstrong. Same with Joe Louis, same with Sugar Ray Robinson, and you know even they had Ali specials. I lived through the Ali era, but I also studied them too in the magazines, so I can get up there with anybody and I can talk on a panel, man. I can, you know, I'm not gonna say I'm a fucking expert, but I'll get on there with scrapbook boxing and talk about Muhammad Ali. You know what I'm saying, bro? Because I studied it, I lived it, and I just know it. And that, unfortunately, today, not a lot of fans are into boxing that much. Where you know they're I don't know what you can call them. You know, fanatical boxing fans following a particular fighter, and he can do no wrong. I always looked at it from the outside, and I just studied the history, man. You know, the good and the bad, and you know it. I don't even know where I'm going with this, but it's a whole different thing today as far as you know just boxing in general. But we're talking about from the amateurs to the pros, and like who are we waiting for to turn pro today in the amateurs? I can't name anybody that I'm waiting for. I mean, back in the day, bro, they were waiting for Greg Page to turn pro. They were waiting for Michael Dokes to turn pro. They were waiting for Breland. For all of those guys, man, you know, and there's not the same vibe about boxing anymore.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, man. So yeah, but I said, yeah, out here, man. I ain't going about this, man. Yeah, but I just, but I just, yeah, but I like what y'all was saying and everything. I just would, but I wish the undercards would get better. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. You know.
Well, yeah, well, I mean, Don King, he used to stack those cards. That's why everybody will say this and that about Don King, but bro, we miss him, man. I mean, dude, he used to give us the undercards, the whole thing. You know, four fights on a televised card, and every one was better than the last. And you know, what we had, the only thing we had that I can compare to that recently was that big heavyweight card with, you know, Wilder and Fury and all those undercards. You know, all the heavyweights that fought on the same card, and even the one they gave us on New Year's Day. You know, it wasn't up to par with anything like Don King used to put on. But at least there was a fairly decent undercard. It was entertaining. But you're right though, because undercards right now, damn, it's hard enough to even know who the B side and the main event is on cards today. Never mind undercards. They're just not putting them together like they did, man. You know, and it's how are you going to complain? We have to build this fighter up, and you know he needs exposure. I don't know, man. Marketing and boxing, it's all messed up today, I think.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Clarence, you're getting in a crazy game, my brother.
It is, but at the end of the day, Bruce, the crazy thing is it's all worth it. Especially with the amateurs, you know, they're our future, and I love their grind and I love how they work. You know, I'm in the gym with these guys, even though I don't compete. I watch what these guys go through. I watch them struggle to make weight. I watch them struggle to lose weight. So, you know, it's at the end of the day, no matter how corrupted the game can be and what goes on, it's still worth it, and it's something that keeps me out of trouble, man, and I love it. So it's definitely worth it at the end of the day, though.
Yeah, I know. No, no, I'm not doing all that. Yeah, I tell you, but 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 I think it's going to be some change this year. I think that we're going to see. Hopefully, I'm being optimistic. I hope we see some pretty good matches coming up. You know.
I think we'll see great matches coming up. Before anything changes, I don't think nothing changes. I think everything stays the same. The way referees have been refereeing, the way judges have been judging, the way these sanction bodies are handling business, I don't think nothing changes. If you ask me, I think it gets worse. I think drug cheats will continue to be able to be drug cheats, and they're going to be able to continue to compete. And we're going to keep getting played with these fights that is not pay-per-view worthy, that people are only going to pay for it because they either hate the person that they see on there fighting or they love
Mhm.
them. So it's like it's a win-win situation. It's like, you know what I mean? What can you do? But
Uh huh.
what they do need to change is these pay-per-views is not worthy. Now this Mario Barris and Keith Thurman, I'm gonna keep it real with you. I might be on somebody else's page looking at that because I don't know. I don't know if I'm coming out of my pockets for it. I might. It all depends on how I feel. But this pay per
Ooh.
view could be worth people coming out their pockets because we already know what social media is going to look like that Sunday morning when we wake up. If that fight is not what it's supposed to be Saturday night, we already know that everybody's going to wake up Sunday morning going live about it. Everybody who has a panel are going to basically voice their opinion as they should because we're coming out of our pockets for these fights that is not pay per view worthy. But then if we sit there and we say it's not pay per view worthy, the first thing somebody says is stop complaining. Boxing's back. Just be happy. But because boxing is back, does that mean every time there's a fight that comes up and y'all call it pay per view worthy, we supposed to be super excited? We're the ones spending the money. So shouldn't the fans that's spending their hard earned money should be able to pay for what they want to see? So I think that's one of the things that don't change this year. I think we're going to see some great fights, and fights is cool, but there's just certain things that just needs to change up behind the scenes.
Mm, I got you. Yeah. Yeah. I guess I'll be a little optimistic, but the way you break it down, yeah, I can see that too.
Yeah,
No.
but it is going to be a great year, though. It's going to be a great year, and I think we're going to see a lot of great fights because the end of last year, they blessed us with a lot of treats. We saw a lot of fights that we didn't think we were going to see. And um, one particular fight that we're going to get to see this year is on April 30th, and that's Shakur Stevenson and Oscar Valdez, a fight that we didn't think was going to happen.
That's true. Yeah. Hmm.
Now it's going to go down. Hey Bruce, who do you like in that fight?
I like Shakur Stevenson. I think it's going to be a pretty easy fight for him. I think he might even get a one of his very rare knockouts. I think Oscar Valdez is made for Shakur Stevenson. But hey, man, anything can happen. Oscar could be taking some of that good fentanyl tea and Fentanyl. Whew, that was a slip of the tongue. But
Hey Bruce,
yeah,
he he's drinking that Lipton tea.
that's what it is, man. Oh, you look at green tea and seriously, back in the day, when I was selling supplements, green tea was considered a very very popular diuretic. It was
Mm.
and even now you look at some of the old green teas and you can see that it has phentermine in there, and they used to mix that with ephedrine. It was called fen, real
Hmm.
popular diet drug back in the day. So you know it can be a legitimate excuse because you can actually get fentanyl in your system from green tea. But hey,
Wow.
man, I don't see why why it would have to be such a huge thing because it's not a performance enhancing drug. It's a diuretic. It's for weight for making weight,
Yeah.
which is actually what is the killer in boxing in all sports because they use things like Lasix and thyroid stimulants which get your internal core up a few degrees. That's going to burn body fat, but it also is going to fry your organs. So you know, the athletic associations they're very aware of diuretics. Fentanyl, I don't know if that could be considered a steroid, a performance enhancing drug, especially if you take it in the form of green tea. So,
Mm-hmm.
but as far as that fight goes, Shakur Stevenson's going to kick the shit out of freaking Valdez.
Oh yeah, brother
Yeah.
She said what's up to us and everything. Brother She, we here say what's up to the
She,
brother.
shout
Gee,
out,
we
yeah, man. I see him all over the place, man. Good brother,
oh,
always giving support.
Yeah.
brother Shane.
Thank you, brother
Yeah.
She, to show up here. That appreciate that very much for show up everything.
It's
We gonna
gonna
be we
be.
gonna go ahead, bro.
I was gonna say it's gonna be an interesting year. Um, it's gonna be an interesting year this year. I'm just anxious to see um what type of fights and what type of decisions they're going to make because I'd be more concerned about decisions that the sport of boxing make than the fights because the decisions are going to determine the fights. Um, Perfect example when Oscar Valdez came up and he failed the test, he was still allowed to compete, and I'm like, well, this is crazy.
Uh-huh.
Would y'all let Spence and Crawford do that if that was them? Hell no. They'll probably be somewhere on a 6 month suspension without pay. We got to be fair. It's not about black or white. We have to be fair. Everybody has to get the same treatment. I don't care what's your nationality. You pop up dirty. If you refuse to fight and defend your title, it's got to be some type of. There's got to be consequences. I don't care if you get hit with a $5,000, $10,000 fine, whatever. We just got to. We have to make it fair. At the end of the day, that's why there's rules. If you have rules and nobody's following them, what's the point of having rules? And that's what's wrong
Yeah.
about it. It's rules, but then nobody's following them. It's favoritism. Oh well, you know what? He doesn't have to fight this guy, so we're just gonna throw him a franchise belt, and we're gonna keep him over here away from this guy because we know what this guy can do to him. This is boxing, man. This doesn't make any sense. I mean, this is a brutal combat sport. The best are supposed to fight the best. And if you're the best, like you say you are, then you don't need to take no drugs to prove that. You're supposed to have natural speed, strength, talent. You use all that to win fights. I don't get with some of these, with these guys. I don't get some of these fighters today. They just confuse me.
Yeah. Yeah. Got you. Yeah, I got you. Yeah. Yeah, man, but yeah, but yeah. I think that sometimes there's like when we talk about stuff like that, you complain it, but this is what I'm saying. This is what Clarence is talking about. He's telling the truth. The truth is the truth, y'all. Can't deny the truth.
Can't run away
So
from the
can't run away from the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like Clarence always said, you can't make this up now.
You can't make it up.
You
You
can't make
can't.
this up.
Hey,
So
let me
just
tell you
accept
something.
it what it is.
I was taught that you can run from the truth all you want to, but when you get ready to come back home, the truth will be waiting for you at the door.
Yeah. Or even if you lay down, be smacking your face and all like
Can't run
that.
from
Yeah,
it.
too.
Right there.
Yeah. Well, you know what I'm going to do? I am going to end this and everything. So, Bruce, I want you to make your last remarks. And Brother Clarence, I'll make your last remarks. And I want y'all to stay right there. And we're going to close it out as a family.
Grinda, Clarence, my brothers. Bruce goes over here, man. Signing out. I just want to thank everybody who stopped in and everybody who's going to be listening to this. You know, you make sure you sub to the number one grind and make sure you follow Clarence McLean, bro. Anybody
Yeah.
wants to follow me, Bruce Goes Boxing, Jazz, and more on YouTube. It's Bruce Goes on Twitter, bro. I'm on here and I'm talking about jazz. I'm talking about boxing. I'm talking about wrestling. I'm talking about health and nutrition. I'm talking about fine weed. And that's what I do over here, man. The grinder wants to talk boxing. He drops a link. If I can hang in, it's late now. I got to get this old Homer Simpson ass to bed pretty soon, man. But you got me wound up. I love boxing. I got my Toka 2 over here. I'm ready to fire a couple up to relax myself to get into another state of mind where I can get a few hours of sleep, man. And you know, you guys, great way to leave, man. Thank you so much, man. Peace, everybody,
Yo,
man.
yo, blaze up for me too, man. You be stingy lately, Bruce, man. Blaze up for the number one grinder too.
I'll not only blaze up for you, my bro. I'll pull out one of my ultra buds over here, man. A nice a nice little specimen of some diesel, some sour diesel over here. I'm going to be enjoying that. I'll probably save that for tomorrow. I still have a few single hits I can do on the Toka over here. I'll keep that under wrap and key and a nice airtight, a nice container, bro. So yeah, I mean it's all good, man. You guys put a smile on my face all the time, and that's what it's all about, man. That's why I'm into boxing, because it's fun. You know, you guys, you keep it fun, you keep it real, man.
Yeah,
Hey, bro, nothing but love and respect, man. Peace out, bros.
peace. All right, thank you. That's the one and only Bruce Goes, brother McClain. You know how we do it.
Yeah, you already know. Salute to my brother, the number one grinder, the best kept secret on YouTube.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to everybody that's in the chat. Thank y'all for coming over here, supporting my brother. Thank you for coming over here, rocking with us. I mean, it's not like it's a Friday, but we over here talking that boxing. So when everybody else is asleep, while they sleep, we work. We on the panel work. They sleep and we on here grinding. And believe me, this is only the beginning, y'all. There might be plenty of times y'all see us do late panels like this.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
When you think I'm not up and I might be asleep, I'm actually up. When the grinder calls me, I'm gonna come through and we gonna get you.
Oh yeah, and the same thing, brother Clarence too. When he called me, I'm hit with the IG and expect me to do some more IG or some boxing. Jeff said he gonna hook me. He said me. He said you. He said he gonna me us three gonna talk. So he tried to get more people in boxing to come to my IG too. So he said he gonna reach out for you for that. So look out. So look out for that too. And also, before I forget. February the 4th, it's going to be a special underrated boxing talk. It's going to be Clarence McLean, Bruce, Jeff. We're trying to get boxing vlog on it. We're going to talk about the 20 fights that's going to be the next day, February the 5th. All right, so I want you to stay tuned for that. That's what I'm working. So along the way, when I do my lives and stuff, I'm gonna really put this out. I'm gonna promote this out, but I'm going to handpick. I'm going to get the people. So I'm gonna let people know before ahead of time. And it's gonna be in the nighttime too. It's gonna be prime time. So watch out for that. February the 4th. February the 4th, we're gonna talk about the 20 fights. That's going to happen on February the 5th. We're going to talk about the X and O's. We're going to talk about breakdown. Everything else. It ain't gonna be no news, no media, no rumors or nothing. And it's not going down. No, we ain't talking about that. So I want you to watch out for that. And also, anybody that is traveling to destination or home, if you're single or you travel with a family member, or you travel with your friends, or you travel with your, Evan partners, I mean, friends and all like that.
Funny guy, Underrated.
I gotta show him love too. But out there, the climate out there is real. We don't want nothing to happen to you.
And
take extra safety safety precaution, all right? Because we don't want nothing to happen to y'all.
Yo, you a funny guy. I caught that.
You know me.
I can't with you sometime, bro. I can't. Yo, you a funny guy, yo.
Yeah, but all jokes aside, we gonna sign out on this the
Yes, sir.
underrated boxing talk. Number 60. I did 59 earlier. So y'all go check that out too. That also was fire too. But this is
Zero.
also fire too. This is
Six.
60. So 60. I did 59 earlier. This is 60. So the next one is 61. Man, that's messed up.
We
That's
gonna
right.
continue.
My father. That's right. 61. That's my father. My late father passed away was 61. Okay. At least that means reach something. Okay. But thanks again, Brother McLean. To take some time, your late night. I really appreciate that. I will reach out to you in the morning
Yeah,
and
definitely.
everything.
I'll
I'm
be
gonna
up in
do
the morning.
that. Yeah, I reach out. Maybe we got some more stuff. You never know. 61
Yeah,
might come tomorrow. You never know.
I'm gonna cook. I know I'm doing some running around tomorrow, but I really don't want to run around and do nothing tomorrow. So don't be too surprised if I hit you up and just say, "Let's do a video in the morning," because I really don't
All
want to
right.
run around tomorrow, but I got to run around tomorrow. But we'll definitely do something tomorrow. I'll just hit you and let you know.
Yeah. Let me know ahead of time. We can do it again on my channel, or I'll hit you with IG. You know how we do it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, how we do it. So thanks a lot, Brother McClain. I appreciate you, and I reach out to me in the morning. I'll be up anyway. I'll be up.
Yeah,
I'll be up tomorrow.
do that. Hit me.
Gotcha. I'm gonna hit you. Definitely, I'm gonna hit you. You want me to hit you on
I.
the IG or Facebook?
It don't matter. Either one, I'ma answer. It don't even matter.
Okay. I got you. I got you.
Yeah, I'll answer either
Thank
one.
you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I want to
Thank
thank y'all. Very much appreciated. We're gonna cut this thing off. Thank y'all so much. This is the last of the underrated boxing talk number 60. Like again, I did 59 earlier. I want you to go check that out. Make sure like this be good to each other. Stay blessed. Stay blessed. Stay blessed. Have a good night. This one is Ghost. Again, stay blessed.